Good afternoon. My name is Christopher Jones. This is my PowerPoint visual presentation of the annual report comparison of the 2015 annual report for Oxfam Australia and the 2017 annual report for Barnes& and Noble. All right. Barnes& and Noble is a very well-known bookseller. Barnes& and Noble's mission is to operate the premier omni-channel specialty retail bookstore in America. Barnes& and Noble began in 1873 when Charles M. Barnes started a small book business in Illinois, later expanding into the well-known Barnes& and Noble bookstore in New York and eventually growing into the world's largest booksellers, Barnes& and Noble. Looking at their annual report, Barnes& and Noble's annual report is very strict and business results driven. My personal opinion, Barnes& and Noble's annual report really misses the mark when it comes to grabbing a reader's attention. Again, it's very strict business style. Not saying that's a bad thing, but when comparing these two reports side by side, as you can tell, it's very wordy, very numbers driven. It's it's like I can compare that to being a child and then reading a chapter book. It's kind of boring. There's nothing grabbing your attention. And then we focus over to the one we're comparing it to. We have Oxfam Australia. Oxfam Australia comes from the Oxford Committee for Famine Relief, founded in Britain in 1942. The group campaigned for food supplies to be sent through an Allied naval blockade to starving women and children in enemy-occupied Greece during the Second World War. They eventually transferred over to Oxfam Australia, which back in 1953, Australians first rallied to fight global hunger and poverty. Born from grassroots campaigns and global vision, it has grown into a powerful force for justice both at home and abroad. Oxfam International focuses on promoting human rights, fighting inequality, poverty, supporting humanitarian efforts, and working globally with diverse communities to create sustainable and just solutions. One thing Oxfam Australia's annual report does really, really well is they actually have stories from actual real people and how that they help them. So this story right here is Irene from Zambia. Again, in a world where the richest 80 people own the same wealth as the poorest 3.5 billion people, extreme inequality poses a growing threat to global security and economic growth. But in Zambia, a group of women are fighting hope and security and growing bananas. Oxfam's investment into solar fencing, irrigation, and training is helping women like Irene Nzukira to build better housing and send their children to school. I think Oxfam did a really great job of putting in these stories of how they've helped actual people. Again, their annual report comparing to Barnes& and Noble pops with color. It's very inviting. As you can see on the left there, it's very personal and inviting. You got two people embracing each other for the good that they're doing in the community. It really grabs your attention personally. Like, again, as you can see in the bottom right there, I mean, you have multiple stories of how Oxfam helps, what the volunteers have contributed, and just personal stories to really like hit it home of how good and well they're doing. In my opinion, Oxfam Australia's annual report was actually very enjoyable to read. It's you look at Barnes and Noble and it's kind of daunting and just like you have to push yourself to get through it. Oxfam was enjoyable to read, and I think that's why definitely Oxfam Australia's annual report wins in my book. Okay, thank you.